This is Ad Infinitum. Okay.
Where were we?
We're good.
Good.
So you were saying that this is a lot of cameras for a podcast.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
What do you think of that?
Well, it's a great debate internally, not even internally. Like a lot of people think like, oh, now podcasts are on video. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, well, now that's where it's all going because it's all going to be video. And I'm like, I don't think so. And my reasoning is I don't think they're the same thing. So like when I go to YouTube and I start watching, like I was watching Trevor Noah. Like one of the best pieces of like show that I've seen was Trevor Noah interviewing Jon Stewart.
Okay.
It was incredible. It's like two brains going like just...
Sure.
But they're two photogenic people, like camera ready people. And I'm used to seeing them on camera. But it was actually taking my time away from other video content. It wasn't taking my time away from like, I wasn't going like, oh, I'm going to go listen. That's not a podcasting moment for me. It's not an audio moment for me. For me, it was like, oh, this is a show I'm watching.
Right.
And so by definition, the idea of a podcast to me is this ability to fill a certain type of like consumption that it didn't fit. So I get into these, I know it's like debating like philosophically a label of it, but for me, I just, a podcast, I'm a little bit old school. I kind of think it's a thing that comes through my ears that is compatible with a lot of other parts of my life.
I think so too. I think it's Ira Glass, it's Terry Gross, like it's NPR, it's storytelling.
Your stuff is way more smarter than mine. Mine is like sports a lot. Like I love sports, and people are like, well, what kind of podcasting? Because like most people are like, oh, do you listen to like really, really smart stuff?
Yeah, probably super smart stuff.
Nope, not at all. Well, I mean, listen, I love my podcast, I love sports podcasters, but I love culture through sports because that's interesting to me.
Sure.
And it's not a guilty pleasure. There's no guilt. It's just pleasure. And so I just love listening to it. And that's my escapism from the world that we live in right now. Like it's kind of chaotic. I don't know if anyone's told you about that.
What's going on?
No.
Can you just give me a rundown of the
It's so calm. Like life is so easy right now. And there's nothing really going on in the world. So
okay, good. Yeah. We're just here, a couple guys
just
hanging out in Southern
with some
California.
Big mics in front of us.
So for the listeners and viewers of Ad Infinitum, who are you and what is it you do in the world of audio?
My name is Rahul Sabnis. I am the president and chief creative officer of iHeartMedia. We're the largest audio company in America. We do radio, we do podcasting, we do all those things. But my job here is I'm the lead creative in our family. The way I like to say it, people go like, well, what does that mean? Simply, I'm not trying to be the most creative person at iHeart. I'm trying to inspire 7,500 iHearters to be the most creative version of themselves. And so that's what I try to do every day. No matter if it's someone in the sales side, it's someone on one of my Studio 55 design team, I want them to find that there's some version of them that could actually apply more creativity to the thing they're doing.
I think that's always the case. That's great. That's for sure, because it can get so soulless and a lot of that nasty stuff can kick in.
Yeah.
But it can also be fun if you choose to make it fun.
I look at so I went to school for engineering, computer science, realized I was a terrible engineer. Actually, I was a proper C- Cornell computer science engineer.
Okay.
That was a grind and I sucked at it. And I realized that thanks to a TA that I could do something else in my life. And I looked and I was like, they're like these things called communications. And I got really excited about it. And it self-taught the rest of it after I finished my schooling there. Got a dual in small group dynamics and computer science was my minor. Okay. Which is weird.
I'm liking this.
But
so you weren't doing artsy fartsy stuff in high school?
No. I don't have any tattoos. I don't
either. So we could commit a crime.
No piercings that I can share, right?
Right.
We could actually start we could. Although the DNA will flake off, so we could be in trouble.
Yeah. So you weren't doing artsy craftsy stuff until later.
It's so weird. I mean, I feel like I've told this story many times to like my friends that when you're growing up as a child of immigrants, like first generation, I was born here in America. My parents from India, they came in as the importing of intelligence into this country, right? Like you would hire like doctors and engineers. That's why so many first generation Indians are so like everyone's like, oh, Indians are so smart. I'm like, listen, wait a generation. We'll calm you down. It's not genes. It's discipline. But it's also our parents had so much high expectations.
Sure.
And so when you're a child of that, you're expected to do what your parents did. There's a high level. So you're going to be an engineer. He was he's alive, but a Hall of Fame engineer as like American Society of Civil Engineers. Like he's rock star.
Okay.
My mom was the head of pathology at Walter Reed. So like she was the head of kidney pathology there. So it was called AFIP, which was the pathology group. So the genes should have been amazing. And here's your son wanting to do creative stuff. So I tried the engineering thing. I tried the computer science, and I still have a lot of like computer science in me. There's a little bit of systems thinking that's in the way I approach creativity, but all the creative was self-taught. All self-taught.
And late. It sounds like pretty late.
All the things, late.
Like you're telling me you weren't in plays and bands in grade school?
No. I sucked at piano. I can't hold a tune. I was pretty good at drawing, but photography was my thing.
Okay.
I picked up a camera around 14.
Okay.
And I've had a camera forever. So
picture maker.
I was doing that. Writing came late in life. Writing started when you go up the advertising ranks, you realize at some point your ability to understand an idea is everything. I came up the design side. So I came up the visual side because I used to design, art direction, things. And then when the more you do advertising, the more you realize there's kind of like a line. You have to get to a thing, and it's an idea that you should be able to inhabit. And that's when you know it's really, really good.
Yep.
And
that's what you're always trying to crack.
Correct. The big idea, right?
Yes.
But the big idea isn't yes, it can be a visual idea, but in reality, it's something that becomes a splinter in your mind, right? And it just itches and itches, and then it finally breaks and everyone gets it. And I realized that I had to teach myself how to write. The first TV spot I did, I wrote like 90 versions of that script. Because no mentoring, by the way. No mentoring. The kind of effed up part about all this is when through my childhood, being an Indian American, there's a lot of people saying that you were supposed to be a doctor, an engineer. My parents, of course, wanted those expectations, but also lawyer, maybe. My mom still wants me to be a lawyer. But the perception is that you're very scientific. You're very left-brained. And if you're actually very right-brained, it's like being left-handed and everyone telling you to like write with your right.
Yeah.
And then one day you realize, oh, I can just use this hand. And then it just opened up. And then everything changed. And that was it.
That's a good way to put it. So that's
what happened. And
it's when you realized you could use that hand.
There was
So that was in college, I take it?
A little. No, it was when I got my first job coming out of school, just because someone knew someone. That's how kind of a lot of advertising works. And I got my first job in an ad agency, and this was the time when this is a very old reference, but desktop publishing was becoming a thing. So what is desktop publishing for those who don't know? It's what we now call InDesign, right? Like people would still used to wax down letters and do that. And I learned that trade during my summers because I used to intern in a studio at my mom's, there was a museum outside of Armed Forces Institute of Pathology, there in Walter Reed. There's a Walter Reed museum. It used to be, at least. And I used to learn all this stuff. And then I taught myself PageMaker back then. Then I learned Illustrator 1 myself, Photoshop 1, on a bootleg copy on my Mac, my 512 Mac with discs. And so it wasn't until I got to my first job that I realized I was good at something that was about to have become a generational shift. No different than what's going on with AI right now. Yeah. Right? There's a lot of, we are going to become a very different type of creative force. We just don't know what that is yet. And I was actually there already. And so that was the beginning of a lot. So.
And then what's the road that led you to iHeart then? So you're agency guy, self-taught, ambitious, creative agency guy, but how do you end up in audio?
It was a circuitous thing. So,
because people ask me and I say one mistake at a time.
It's fair.
You know what I mean?
No,
How do I get to be where you?
No, oh, well, I tell people, how do you get to be like me?
Yeah, exactly.
I tell them, don't look up, like literally just work.
Yes.
Like sorry, my mind's kind of racing to a different place, which is
Go there. Where is it? Where's it going?
Do you ever notice? I can't remember who said this. I swear it was on one of my like sports podcasts. When someone says something and they mispronounce it, don't correct them.
Yes, I agree with you.
And here's the reason. That means they learned that word on their own. They didn't hear it from anyone else. Isn't that crazy? That means they had self-taught to understand the word and tried to figure out how to pronounce it. And that's kind of me in creative. I've always been a pretender. But I also
exactly what you mean.
Couldn't lie to myself. It's know thyself and all those things. But like I was constantly like looking at like, okay, but am I good? Am I good enough? How do I know? How do I have real control? Because I knew that one day if I ever had an opportunity to be a leader of others, I'll get back to how I got to iHeart in a second. But I knew I had to have total control over my abilities so that I could be a good leader for others. Otherwise, you have to do your 10,000, 100,000 hours of failures. Like you're not wrong. You have to fail your way to the place. I will tell you that when I had gotten let go from Mullen, this was under
what circumstance?
How do I say this politely?
You can say
they didn't want me anymore. Because
was it part of like they lost an account and they fired 200 people? It's one of those.
Yeah, it's the politically correct way to saying is I became duplicitous in their architecture of what they were trying to develop.
Sure.
So
they cut weight.
They cut weight. And the not so polite way would probably be some version of they saw me as competitive versus I'm a partner. Like I'm a very partnering person. I don't see the world in I'm very inclusive. I think like there's a lot, we're all on the same team if you're working I believed that when you work on an agency, you're all working on the same side of the fence.
Yes.
Because the world outside of that is fighting you. So the last thing you want to be doing is fighting internally.
Amen to that.
And it never made sense to me, but like, being a nice guy like that didn't necessarily serve me well then. But there was also something else that had happened to me, which was I realized that the world of advertising was too slow. This was Trump 1.0. Had just got elected. And I go, this guy just won the election off of tweets and like chutzpah and saying whatever he wants, right? I'm not going to get into the politics of where I stand. I'm pretty sure you could probably imagine it. But I knew then that our industry, where we have this kind of big idea navel gazing that takes like a week or two to come up with a big idea, and then you show it to the client, then we argue about it for like just interminable amount of time where you're talking and talking. And then we argue about a comma and a the, and you're sitting here like, I could make this 7 times and it would be 100% better than this conversation. And I got frustrated with it. And it was I was done with the way we were working as an industry. And I felt like it was too slow. So it was probably like, I think there was like, there's just, sometimes you just kind of fire yourself in a weird way. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't them. Maybe I was like moving faster than they wanted this to work. So maybe it wasn't duplicitous or whatever. Maybe like, let me try the other way, which is maybe I had actually outgrown the industry. So they laid me off. And one thing, like a recruiter found me and I came into iHeart and I interviewed with a guy named Darren Davis. It was my first boss. Do you know Darren? Do you know that name?
I think I might.
He was the president of our digital group then.
Okay.
And he's
looking for a creative, like fresh blood or like what?
What had happened is, this is kind of crazy. So it was like talking about
So it's 2016-ish.
2017.
2017.
So what was weird is at that time, iHeart did not have an ECD. They had no creative leader in the family.
Interesting.
And so 2 people, actually, there's a woman who then later became my boss, a woman named Gail Troberman. You've probably heard her. Yeah. So Gail and Darren together were co-leading this hire because they realized, because there was we had a studio then, but the studio was more of a design studio. And what Gail had recognized astutely with all the time that she had spent at Microsoft and being with advertising, she's a true like on the advertising side of the fence, not the radio side.
Yep.
Darren came from the radio side. But what she saw was she needed a person in-house who can make good on the promises that we were making because we were elevating as a creative company. Darren was looking for someone who could also understand radio at the same time, or someone who could be an operator. So it had taken them, I think they were running about a year at this point. They hadn't found the person. And because of a friend referred me to a recruiter, she called me and she said, "Are you doing anything right now?" I'm like, "No," and I talked to her and she's like, "Come to my office." I'm like, "Right now?" She goes, "Come right now." Did the interview, like literally just as we're sitting, she goes, within 10 minutes, she goes, "Holy shit, this is exactly who they've been looking for." I went in, sat with Darren. And she goes, "You're going to meet Darren the next day for 30 minutes. I go, "This is an ECD position for iHeartMedia, and I get 30 minutes? She goes, "Trust me, you're not going to need more than that." I was like, all right. I go in and meet Darren, and we got along like this. And if you know Darren is a very meticulous person. He does everything. Anyone who's listening ever heard of Darren Davis? This guy's Mr. Radio. And he's retired now. He's no longer he has found his way out of iHeart and into greener pastures and doing much, much more fun things in his life. But we ended up going for about 45 minutes.
Darren.
You know Darren.
Yes. Okay. I mean, like I've met Darren or been near Darren. Darren, there you go. Darren's done.
Done. I think that's a very strong word, but
retired.
I retired.
He did everything he wanted to do.
Did everything he wanted to do.
So Darren hired you.
Darren hired me.
So
but no, Darren was the first interview.
Oh.
Lasted a half an hour. It went to 45 minutes.
Okay.
His assistant came in and was like, Darren, you're over. And he's like,
good.
What do you mean I'm over? He was like, it's 45 minutes. He's like,
that's a good sign.
And his answer was, anyone to make me late for my next meeting is someone worth bringing back. I went through a couple rounds. I then met Gail. Her actual question was, and I remember it, she goes, and it was a very important, if she's listening, it'll be fun for her to hear this because she'll probably remember it. She said, "Why would you want to come work for a radio company? With all the creativity in the agency world and all that." And I told her, and I was being really honest. I was like, I didn't want to be a serial dater anymore with brands. I wanted to help build something for real. Because
it's good.
It worked, I guess. She liked, the truth is, I think she wanted
that's what you think?
It was a bullshit. She wanted to do the bullshit test. She wanted to know, are you coming in for, because iHeart's a big company and it's it's kind of sexy, right? Like it has a lot of sex appeal that way, right? In the sense of it's a very important brand that way in our industry. Candidly, I didn't even know what iHeart was. I was just more interested in the people. The people I met. And I have to tell you, every person I met at the executive level, I was like, holy crap, these are the people I want to work with. You guys are so fast, so smart.
Yeah, it's radio.
And that's it. I didn't effing know that radio was what I was. That it was
cool.
I was in my bones a radio person. And radio isn't, as you know, it's a way of communicating. It's a way of connecting. It's the way that it's always on. The mic is always on. The show is always going.
The show goes on!
First day I got there, someone needed a script for Ryan Seacrest for something he was going to do. And one of our AEs came up to me. She's like, she was one of our project managers. "I need a script for Ryan Seacrest. He needs to record this." I go, okay, I'll get it to you by tomorrow. She goes, "No, he has to record in the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I go, "You mean 20 minutes now?" And I pull out my phone and go, "Stay right there." And I walked literally on the 12th floor. And by the time I got back, but because I've always wanted to work this fast. This is the thing about speed.
You finally got it.
I was home.
Yeah.
I knew it the most. I was like, yeah, this is it. And I immediately became at home. I felt a kindred with Bob, our chairman, because he has great, incredible marketing sensibilities. His ability, he knows how to, he sees things in ways that you can, it's funny because he can get, we always call it in the studio, we called, there's a guy named Andy who works with us. He's our creative director of video because we do a lot of sizzles and such. And he calls it that reptilian side of our brain where you react to something, but you're not sure why, but you just like it.
Sure.
Bob knows how to tap into that as a skill. And it was the first time I'd been around, because like when you're an advertising person, you're all about trying to create a story. He understands how humans create the stories themselves instinctually. That how much repetition is a very important part of what, like, I think I'd heard one of your podcasts about the importance of repetition and such. So,
yeah.
Like how that's singularly important. So
it's super important. Yeah. Some guys, it's funny. I think all this stuff, is skill-based.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is skill-based, really. I think even spirituality, whatever, it's all skills. And I think there's a marketplace skill that some guys like Bob have that it's cool. It's kind of like a guy that can sing on key or a gal that can sing on key.
On cue at
or
any time.
somebody that is really coordinated and athletic. Some guys have a mercantile, sense of like how...
What's your skill?
They just get to know how to do it.
What's your skill?
Leading others.
That's important.
Yeah, helping others.
I think that's actually...
That's all I've ever done. Is just named clubs and gotten people excited to make stuff.
Well, that's not... When you say leading, do you mean like leading teams or helping people see a different road forward?
A different road forward, that kind of stuff.
Got
100%.
Yeah, because
that's all I've ever done.
There you go. Okay.
How about you?
I think about that a lot. I think my superpower, if I were to like what I'm really, really good at, is the ability to help people understand something complex quickly.
Yeah.
Like
I see that.
Like just to go like take a big thing and just go.
We got to be human, which makes sense because you're all about this. So let's zoom forward.
That was a segue. That was amazing.
Let's zoom forward to this. Let's see if this will play for me.
WDCG Durham. G105, an iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human.
WNCB Cary Raleigh Durham.
An iHeart Country station. Guaranteed human.
Oh man, there's so much I want to talk about.
Talk to me.
I like how the country one's customized a little bit.
They're all customized.
They're all customized. Yeah. But let's talk about the guaranteed human part first.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, before we do that, can you break down for our listeners and watchers? No, so, okay, fine. You're head of creative at iHeart.
Mm-hmm.
How does this, then you and your vision impact our 93.9 and what I just listened to?
Okay, so we're not a very I company to understand that. Like, I think we're very much a we company.
I love it already.
So, like, for me to even say I did this doesn't work for me because that's not truth. We recognize that. So you have to go back a little bit. So we're talking about, so for your listeners, we took a pledge, I think it was at the end of last year, or maybe it was the beginning of this year. I can't remember because all the years just blur, the months blur, where the music that we are going to play on our radios is all going to be, there's never going to be synthetic music. It's always like, yes, you can use, like it's always going to have a human behind it. It is guaranteed human.
Right.
The second part of it is that we will never use our hosts and clone them and do synthetic voice of our hosts. There's a lot of reasoning behind it. But by the way, that it doesn't seem that controversial as I say it, but it's a big deal to say that out loud. A lot of people can say, okay, we're going to do this, but to actually go, no, we're going to take a stance. There's a thing that Bob said. He's like, sometimes we don't take stances at iHeart because we have to, it's a hard company to work for because we have to represent everyone.
Right. It's radio.
But also we're a big ass tent. So like,
you're like the biggest.
We yeah, that's true too. But I mean, I'm talking about like even our podcasters and like, you can go from like, very conservative talk to all the way to the other side. And so what I tell even when I'm recruiting people is like, listen, iHeart isn't for everyone because we speak for everyone. Like we have to be everyone. So if you have a personal kind of agenda when you come in, it's not going to work here. That's not how we operate. You have to literally park because we're doing it in the service of everyone being able to be in a part of a big tent. It's something we take very, very, it's hard. Believe me, there are days where it's really friggin' hard. But anyway, so back to the guaranteed human part, because we are a company that doesn't take this kind of stances because we allow individual brands to like be themselves.
Yep.
So a Breakfast Club can do this. A Kiss can be another thing here in LA. Like every brand has their own identity but they're all part of the kind of bigger umbrella that's called iHeart that allows to kind of represents a level of quality and consistency. But this we weren't okay with because we wanted to take a stance. To quote Bob exactly, and actually was also repeated by Tom Pullman, our head of programming. They said, sometimes you have to take a choice and we choose humans.
Mm-hmm.
And we dare while that was never said, we dare someone to do the opposite. That's a declaration because here's the thing, like, what's the other side you're picking? Efficiency and like slop. And there's a lot of like channels now in my feeds where I'm like, what's the first question you're going to ask? Is that real?
Oh, it's all that.
That's all it is now. We've now had the level of distrust we now feel in everything that we're consuming is become it's just pervasive. But one of the things that I was recently doing my own kind of research, and I'll come back to how we got to Guaranteed Human in a second. But one of the things that make, audio, this, specifically radio and podcast are the most trusted channels of all the channels. But why? Now, the first reason you would say we normally go because the relationships of the people on the mic are deep. I believe that. And I listen to you. I hear you. I built trust with you. But there's actually a different reason that's almost just by the numbers. The average video, so I was doing some research, and the average video consumption rate we consume in clips, like 60 to 70% is less than 60 seconds. When it comes to listening, we listen in sessions. 60 to 70% and more are 30 minutes or more. So if you're going to trust something, what you're going to trust?
The one you spend more time with.
Correct.
The more you tell, the more you sell.
All right, now you're going to the ad side of the ad infinitum. Yeah. So when
but you trust somebody you spend time with.
Absolutely. You trust, and it gives, going back to that reptilian thing we were talking about, it gives that side of that instinct to go, I don't have to ask that question. So and
the trust is real. I don't mean to, no,
it's real. It is real.
And those hosts, that's another thing. Like you discovered you're a radio guy this whole time is like, there's a genuine love of the game. There's a genuine love of the audience.
That's right.
It is an empath's playground.
That's right.
Right. So there's that at play too. Like the host really does care about his or her listeners.
Like, and you're very good at this because you're seamlessly like making this a very comfortable environment. So that as we're sitting here and talking, I don't feel like there's a mic and a camera watching me. I feel like I'm in your living room and we're having that conversation. And if you're listening right now, you feel exactly that same way. Like that kind of the guard goes down. It's one of the reasons going back to talk about a callback, why I don't think video podcasts are the same.
Yeah.
Because it goes from being something that is developed in my mind as a very intimate thing to something that is forced upon me about to be. I don't think people want to see what I look like. Frankly, I don't think they really want to hear what I look like. But I do think if they had the choice, I think my voice and my words mean more than how I look on screen. And that's my personal belief because I think I can connect human to human better. I want to finish the thought though, which was we do every year a thing called AudioCon. It is our once a year. So we actually do 50,000. I think you know this because our family shares these kind of stats. A big part of being able to speak to America every day is you have to actually listen to America every day.
What?
100%. So do
you happen to do 50,000 consumer studies a year? And in your most recent human consumer study, two numbers stood out. 70% of consumers are already using AI. 90% still want their media from a real human.
My God.
That's from the CES interview with Lisa Coffey.
It was actually a part of and yes, Lisa did that when she
mentioned those factoids.
At CES, yeah.
But I mean, 90% still want their media from a real human.
Yeah. And I would only say that number's probably gone up. That survey of that particular beat, those results came out last September.
Yeah, and you think it's gone up?
100% gone up.
Yeah, because of how much we don't know.
Like, we feel it in our bones right now.
We all feel it.
Like, I was thinking about
But it's weird how people are at different levels because like I uploaded, I don't know, 40, or no, it's probably more like 20 pictures of my dog where I walk him on the trail behind my house in Santa Clarita. So all the vegetation, everything has a very specific look. And I gave whichever Nano Banana, so it's got really good like the light, the topography, the
Sounds
dog are
gorgeous.
consistent. So it's got a lot it can work with. And then I paired him with like the Predator and the T1000.
But you're just having fun.
But what's crazy is like, and then I posted it. If I showed it to you, I mean, I can show it to you. It's like,
funny.
if I told you.
You probably have a dog on your, like,
Yeah, I do.
yeah.
So if
there
I
you go.
told you though that this was me, like, no, don't BS. Like, if I told you this was a photo of me in cosplay with my dog,
I 100% believe it.
right?
100% believe
And
it.
this to me is that like,
But that's fun.
Then that makes it all
But
to
we
your
can't-
point.
but
But
we
to
can't
your
have
point,
nice
that's the
things.
thing that we go, what? I don't know what's real.
But we can't have nice things. And so that's the thing. The moment we take something that's good, we do that. We like, I mean, do you remember back in the day, the internet was just a lark. Like
Yeah.
social was a lark. Like it was just fun. We were sending memes to each other. It was hilarious and
It
light.
was fun. It was
And
light.
now you're the Mandalorian. And look what
now I'm
happened.
the Mandalorian
Look, there it is.
with my dog. That's what I spend my time doing.
A cattle dog, huh?
Yes, he
Very
is.
cute.
Yes, an Australian cattle dog. So you guys made a pledge to be guaranteed human in, but your point is that
We saw it
That's
coming.
that it's instinct. You're making a big deal about.
Yeah.
Having a Bob on the team is helpful.
So
having
it's a little bit very
yeah, so everybody needs a Bob on the team.
For sure.
Hopefully they can.
Yeah, I mean,
see,
everyone should get a Bob.
He can
Yes,
see. Yeah,
yes.
everybody needs
You
a
should
Bob that
yeah.
can see around corners.
Yes.
And then 2, this is no small thing. 50,000 consumer studies.
Yeah, and it's a big deal. We do those studies a lot, and we joke.
So those things combined, though, sorry to interrupt.
No,
Those
please.
things combined, both the instinct and the studies helped bring you to guaranteed human.
Instinct's important, but the first thing was actually the data. Bob would say it too, which is
Okay.
in our human consumer study, like we had done, because we do AudioCon every year. This was our 3rd annual, and this one I worked with Lainey, who's like heads up our insights group, and Bob, and we put together a survey and fielded about like one. I don't know if you know this, but this is the 10-year anniversary of the invention of the algorithm. Did you know that?
I don't know why it made me feel cold on the inside.
You
when
should.
You said that.
Because 10 years ago was when we started to lose control of our feeds. Remember, Facebook was really light. Like you would just get. I mean, it's the thing that
It's hard to remember.
it is hard to remember because, like, I'm not on Facebook.
But it wasn't always.
What was Facebook? Facebook was like basically, let's say you would get as many friends as you could, right? You're like, oh, you find this person. Oh my god, I haven't seen you in forever. Oh my god,
Right.
it's Stu. We haven't talked in like 20 years. And,
Sure.
And you'd amass like 600 friends, and of those, we hadn't gotten to the bad part yet. We would basically all share like dog.
Pictures of you with your tongue.
So then the algorithms came in. And what did they do? They said, gee, Stu really likes dogs. I have billions of people with dog pictures. So I'm going to give him one. Just go, there's a little tickle, and you go like. And then it fed another one and another one. Now that's innocent when we're dealing with dogs. Now you get into politics. Now you get into
Enragement.
correct. And then what is their whole thing? And you know this.
Incentivize the
Correct.
enragement.
And you know that. And so if you think 10 years of that, plus
It
a
is cool
pandemic,
to take a moment though and think that
Think about that.
we've been beaten up for 10 years. They've been doing this to us, or it's been doing this to us, or we've been doing it to ourselves into red team, blue team. To the point now it feels farcical. That's where I'm at. Like if I'm being really real, like I'm at a point now where it's like this feels like I'm in a cartoon now.
Do you 100%?
Which
like we're in a
you're helping me
simulation.
even pause and think it's like,
Is
yeah,
it real?
It's
Like,
because you are. No,
No, you're
because
right.
it has pushed it that far to the extremes.
When you consume anything right now, it's algorithmically fed, except broadcast radio. It's one of the things that I actually share with a lot of our partners. We'll spend $8 million. I say this a lot to like partners. You're going to spend $8 million for a Super Bowl spot. Why? Because you have shared attention for that moment.
Yeah, and
Broadca-
I think it's a powerhouse of shared quality attention.
Quality attention,
Like-
right? Ugh. Even though if you really think about what a Super Bowl commercial is, it's like listening to music on a vinyl. It's like sitting down and listen, because it doesn't exist. We don't sit and watch commercials anymore. But if you think of it like metaphorically, it's a very strange thing. But I do
It
it.
is.
It is a very strange ritual that we have in.
It is a funny one.
It's
I
right.
see what you're saying. Yes.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
we are going to.
This is the one time that we watch a commercial.
Yeah, I'm going to put a vinyl down and I'm going to
Yes.
listen to it, and maybe I'll have a pipe.
Yeah,
I'll smoke a
yes,
pipe.
totally.
So it is a very deliberate advertising moment, and I'm a fan of it.
And
Like,
we all take part in it.
Correct.
And blah, blah, blah.
what does radio do every day? When you're listening to the radio, even if you're alone, you feel like you're listening together.
Yep.
You never go, oh, I'm the only one. It's the reason attribution for radio is so hard just for even human beings, because you don't remember where you heard it from, because it's this thing that is around us. There's nothing else that is broadcasted anymore. Even if you're who watches the nightly news, but I can't watch anymore because you can see even their algorithmic news generation that they're even doing there, but people still pause and watch it later. They DVR it, if that's the term now. They record it and watch it later.
Yeah.
Broadcast radio is like that last bastion of people people feeling that they're not alone. And it took me a friggin' minute to really appreciate what that meant. Bob used to say it a lot when I first got it. He goes, like, understand that radio's existence is for companionship. It's to give people like a voice in the dark when you feel alone. Like, and if you ever listen to any of our morning sessions, sometimes you may feel like, oh, they're really maybe a little, like 30% happier than I am. But that's actually kind of by design. Because what other channel out there makes you feel better after you listen to it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it is literally a shot of like the same caffeine that you take, but for like, it makes you feel better. Podcasts are a lot the same way. You listen to things that make you go, I feel better about myself. I feel better about the things, if you're choosing, unless you're into murders or whatever the hell you're listening to. But
it's a beautiful thing you're talking about. I mean, it's like, it's the storytellers.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting around the cafeteria, let's say in high school, that guy or gal that could hold court and tell a story, they're not doing it to make people feel worse.
No, right.
Like, who would do that?
But then you're in your feed, and what are you getting?
It's there to pugilize you.
And to separate us.
100%.
We end up, and I'm not here to like just rip on every social media platform, but I mean, we all have to kind of at some point go, is this really who we are?
I think there's an awakening happening. So, and it's cool to think with radio that's not served algorithmically. And this guaranteed human thing, I do want to ask, like,
you want to get to the instinct part.
Well, I do. And I also want to know, it's because you brought this up, is like, I remember talking to some decent sized hosts. This was like 3 or 4 years ago when Clone Voice was just coming around, and there's like different schools of thought, and you're going to know immediately. Like, there is the individual that's like, oh, whatever, copy my voice, get me to say whatever. And that's the part that feels kind of like, ugh.
Icky.
Yeah, because you're like, So with iHeart saying no clone voices, are we saying like not even using it to change the pronunciation of a word? Or is it that we're not doing full reads
We're not doing
calling it
Listen, I would consider what you just described before is a bit of a spell check. Yes, the first thing. Because it's funny because everyone's like, oh, it's all anti-AI. Like, AI is going to be here for the rest of our lives. It's not going anywhere. We're not going to like suddenly dune ourselves and like all technology's gone.
Right.
Like, it's going to be a part of our lives. The difference, though, is we want to be transparent, honest, and measured about the things we use it for.
Right, and you're not being indiscriminately like just throwing all in on, I just copy my voice, whatever. I
remember there is actually, and I'm sure this podcast exists right now because there's a company that's doing it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they have a podcast that basically takes AP feeds, turns it into human voice, and you can listen to it. It's all synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate that.
Me either.
But I also like the intonation of feeling like there's a person at the other end that made me feel like there was some level of humanity to that story. Because that being said, that version of what I just described is no different than like turning on your phone and making Siri or whatever it is read whatever's there.
You said the magic word. It's like, oh, did one of them?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Like,
it's like, wait.
Or I'll say A.
Well, I
Alice
remember growing up, going to Western Kansas.
Yeah.
As a kid, and when you would drive out, you'd stop at these gas stations, and there would be a voice reading the weather report for the farmers. Mm-hmm. It was like,
the Montana
whatever, Kiowa County,
3.6
inches moisture, blah blah blah, and so it's like
That's data.
Helpful stuff.
That's just
data.
Like,
a guy needs to know that.
That's not a human trying to like help you understand the. Like,
I think the thing that we don't like, none of us like, is like that they know they're pulling one on us.
Yeah.
And they're pulling
transparency is actually the foundation.
It's almost like that guaranteed human is like you might use some of the tech, but you're not. I get the heart of it.
Yeah,
is that we're not trying to pull a fast one.
That's the core of it. We also we're really, I mean, I know I'm speaking for myself.
Sure.
I'm not speaking for iHeart as a whole. I worry about the creative space when it comes to like real, like, so there was Jay Shetty, one of our podcast, like he's a part of our podcast network. And he said, I mean, he says many prophetic things, but like one that when he was doing a live session in New York, and I'm going to butcher it, but he said, I'm not worried if AI is going to have a soul. I'm worried, I'm hoping that those of us who teach it through our actions have a soul.
Yeah.
And I think that I was like, first of all, mind blown. Second, he's right, which is AI can only essentially build off of the accumulation of all the things that we have done. Does it one day become sentient? I don't know. That's kind of that's a question for a different podcast. But I don't like the idea that we have forgotten that there is still a human being that makes a choice. There's a voice. Like when I first got to iHeart, I remember, again, almost 10 years ago, I remember when I would like direct voice actors.
Yeah.
And I would say, here's what I want you to do. Here's the script.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'd go, do the read. They do the read and they'd talk like, and I just wanted to feel this. And I was like, okay, is that how you normally talk?
That's how I talk every day.
I mean, yeah, there you go. And I said, okay, I want you to do the same thing and just talk to me like a normal person.
Yeah.
And what's weird though, is what AI has done is like, we have to start to almost titrate up the humanity back into the voice. I struggled to bring it down to like normal voices, but a lot of the AI-ness is doing the very, very unfortunately good job of like faking things. So that's why we had to make the pledge. We had to take that guarantee because like, here's the thing, it isn't that you can't do it. We're choosing not to do it.
Right.
That's a choice. We choose. And like, that's kind of the thing in most things in life. You can choose to do a lot of bad things in this world, or you can choose to do the better things. And we chose to do what we think is the better version of it.
And I think that's admirable. And, I think we're going to see more of that. I think it's well timed. Now, you ready to grade some people's ads?
Oof. Okay. I'll do my best.
I say we go fast because
right.
You like that radio's fast.
I can do fast.
I like fast too.
Okay. But if any of them are potential clients of ours, or is any creative I done,
then what are you going to do?
I don't know. I might have to excuse myself out the room.
Okay,
like
you're going to recuse yourself?
I must recuse myself from this particular spot. All right,
Yes,
let's hear.
exactly.
Let's hear some spots.
Yeah, let's hear some spots. Okay, so these are
great, or like also. I'm
no, please ask what right here. What's up?
I want to be like. I want to also like go like, what would I have done? Like, anyways, let's hear what the spots
Yeah,
are.
we'll hear what
I'm
they
going to do what
are.
I do with my teams. How's that?
That's the way to do it.
All right, I'll do it
the
the way-
whole thing behind this is actually like some of the stuff we've touched on is that like in agency land, whatever, in just like making of creative widget land, what gets me is like theory versus practice.
Yeah.
And it's like, can we just like, it's amazing. Sometimes the simplest move, this is going to sound so stupid, but sometimes the simplest move is just like to play somebody a recent example of their spot.
That is why I love audio.
Because I've sat through meetings where we're literally philosophizing, talking to and performance numbers. It's like, let's just listen to how Howard Stern brought this to life. Now we have something we can talk about.
Is the reason I love audio so much. When we present our first round of scripts, my Studio A, the audio team, we go in with like mocks.
You just play the spots.
We just play the spots.
Yes.
And they're like, why? Like I go, Jill Bellomo, who is my creative director, her VP of creative, who's like just a powerhouse creative. She's really good at doing a read, but she's not a 50-year-old man. You know what I mean? Like or a 14-year-old girl. Like just do it. We'll just do it.
Right.
And that's like, at least sketch it out in the same way when you're using Photoshop to mock up an ad.
Yeah, and that's what like 11 Labs or
11's great. Yeah, there's good.
Wondercraft. Like you
doing great
have
work.
the ability to just make it.
Just make it.
Just make it.
Just
Okay,
make
so
it.
let's just grade it.
Okay, great.
We're just going to grade it.
Oh my God,
Okay.
I feel scared.
Oh, okay. So these are the top spenders from Magellan.ai, and you can get a free demo of Magellan.ai at Magellan.ai/Ad Infinitum. These are top 4 recent spenders. First one up in podcasting is Aura Frames. Here we go.
This episode is sponsored by Aura. If you're a last-minute shopper like me, because I really am a last shopper, you know the feeling like things are empty, then the sizes that you want, the things that you want, they're all gone. Aura Frames is the solution with a gift that feels personal. With Aura Frame, you can upload unlimited photos and video. Just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi. You can preload photos before it ships, keep adding from anywhere, anytime, and share photos and videos effortlessly, straight from your phone all year long. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code Jillian at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code Jillian. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames really sell out fast. So order yours now to get in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, let's go.
My most unfortunate problem for the about 70% of that spot, I thought they were talking about glasses. I shit you not. I literally didn't understand what she was talking about. I'm like, wait, did Meta Frames have a new type of glasses? I'm such an idiot. Like, I literally was like listening and going like, I'm lost.
Well,
I'm lost. I think that the challenge with audio for me is like within the first first thing we say is, do you have something to say, not just sell?
Okay.
And I don't know what it is that the frame, like it didn't start from a place for me where you go, imagine a frame for a picture.
Okay.
Now imagine that frame was forever, that it was constantly rotating of all the memories that you had wished you had or like you had remembered. So it isn't just some Google Photos that sends you a memory every from 7 years ago, but every day something different. And now I just gave you something that actually filled my life with joy. And I go, oh, that's a best friend telling me. That's where I would have gone with that because there's an incredible opportunity to just go there.
So what do you give it?
Are we doing A, B, C, D?
Whatever you want.
Out of a score of 1 to 10, I would give it about a 6. I like to actually her read. Meaning,
I like to read too.
You know why? Because it felt real.
It did, and
you're going to hear me grade that way a lot. Sorry.
Well, and I've come to you can very quickly assess.
Yeah.
They like that's her style,
and it's of course
so
she's
then
in the front
she's
of her
matching
podcast.
that style. Then
that's
like,
who she is.
Right. So
6.
Audiolytics gave it a 79%. You gave it a 6.
I'm a hard grader, so
well, that's X is kind of in the zone. Audiolytics top recommendations are
this is going to be fun.
Provide data or research to substantiate the gap between the offering and competitors, so positioning, and include meaningful facts and figures, which could also be painting that word picture. Like basically, you're saying I was confused too.
Okay, so I'm not as dumb as I look. Okay,
no. Okay. So anyway, let's keep going.
All right,
so the next one's Mint Mobile.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. And Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day. Yeah? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
I give it about an 8, mostly because it's personality driven. The only thing is I hate buttons. So that little joke at the end, I always have a thing where like I almost try to send it like that one little half day, thing.
Yes.
It's one of those like pet peeves of mine, which is a legacy. It's like a vestigial tale of like old advertising. So I always hate that.
When they try to throw in a zinger.
A zinger. That's what it is. Like, I hate that stuff, but he's great, obviously. And it's very personality driven. It's memory and it's right on brand.
And he says, give it a try.
Yeah.
Well, he says, give it a try.
Yeah. It's a Ryan
It's
thing.
Ryan.
It's Ryan. It's Ryan doing Ryan things.
It's Mint Mobile.
It's Mint Mobile. He is, but there's nothing else. It's like, again, I guess.
You gave it an 8. Audiolytics gave it an 88. If it had to have something that could be done better, let's just look at the scorecard. Because now we're all powered by human and AI stuff going on here.
It's me versus the machine.
Well, it's you and
I like
the
that.
machine.
I like it.
It's a we thing.
We against the machine.
We're teaching the machine to have a soul.
You didn't give a grade.
My grade is Audiolytics grade. I am a machine.
Oh my God.
And
you're not even really here.
I do find though, I've done this so long. It's like
you know exactly what it's going to be.
Well, it's not that. It's just like it very much is the way that I think. I mean, it's composed of 71 subcomponents. Angela and I, who's here with us, we're just going through, like, I've got my little cheat sheet of these are the Audiolytics key components with the weighting of which ones are most important. Like, it's just where my head's at all the time. I mean, the point is how do you persuade another human being to take action?
I love it.
And it's like, hey, I've got something for you, speaking to them in a way that sparks their interest, compare it to other things, give them a reason to believe you, give them an incredible offer.
I'm going to make them an offer he can't refuse.
It's basically, if you follow all 71 subcomponents of Audiolytics, at least the 9 key components, my way of thinking of it is like if you had to sell, if you've had to sell something door to door.
Yeah, I get it.
This is the script.
Yeah, and
listen, that comes.
No, listen,
it is what it is.
But what you're doing is, and it's not wrong, which is it at least gives you foundational support for the majority of the work that has to get done.
The way I look at it is like, and you would agree, I'm sure, is if you went through all 71, which we hold very closely, it would not hurt any advertiser to have an answer to all of them, whether you use them or not. So anyway, okay. Here, I mean, Mint Mobile 88. That's right there. Our target is 90.
Nice.
Looks like it could have used a customer testimonial popped up, which is true. Describe up to 3 easy steps required to use the offering. That one is often overlooked, which is how does this thing work?
Ryan would have been something like, and this is a testimonial, and he would have been self-referential about it.
Right, yes. Exactly.
Well, it would have worked.
And then it would have worked. Yeah, he is the big idea.
Yes, he is.
Ryan
is the big idea.
All right, here we go. Toyota is the next one.
Oh man, it is back, and it's bigger and more fun than ever. Toyota is all in all season with another year of Toyota Game Day giveaways, giving football fans the chance to win big every week of the NFL season. How? Simply predict which big plays will happen during the second half of each Sunday night football game. That's it. If you want a new 2026 Toyota Sequoia, how about Brock Purdy's favorite Sequoia? It could be yours simply by playing Toyota Game Day giveaways. Plus, thousands of prizes are up for grabs, including tickets to any regular season NFL game next season, plus flights and accommodation, NFL shop gear, and more. Play for free across 22 weeks of action. Toyota is bringing the excitement as the official automotive partner of the NFL. Don't miss out. Visit toyota.com/NFL now to learn more. Toyota, let's go places. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Ends on 2/8/26. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and over.
Piece of
For
going.
complete details, how to enter prizes and official rules, visit Toyota's GameDayGiveaways.com.
Oh.
Get almost anything you need delivered with Uber Eats.
Nope.
Okay, all right.
First of all, who was that?
This is Good Morning Football.
I was like, that sounded very familiar to me. Again, sports guy. So I was like,
so you've been listening to sports
because
shows.
he didn't self-identify, which means this is probably a mid-roll that comes right out of the
It
word.
is 100% a mid-roll.
Yeah.
I have a lot to. I think they should self-identify whenever possible.
I think. Well, and also because a lot of the placements can be in other places you'll never know.
Right. So anyway, okay.
That happens a lot on. For us, we have mostly self-identifying, but rarely we will let like our talent not self-identify. Okay, so my grade on it, my biggest challenge, I'll give it a 6.5, maybe 7 tops. It's long, and the biggest problem for me is it's trying to put a lot of things. It's like 10 pounds of information in a 5-pound bag. Like you're trying like. Give me one thing to hold on to. I was lost. I was like, at first I was like, oh, I get this. Every Sunday, boom, Brock Purdy. And then there was another thing and another thing. And oh, by the way, and oh, by the way, and oh, by the way. And then I lost it. And I forgot what the whole thing was about.
And these are actually my favorite ones to play in mixed settings.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, guys, this is what we're putting out there. Like, this is what we're, which I'm not even saying something good. I'm not making a value judgment. As like, we can talk so much talk about all of this, but like stop and listen. And then what would be really funny to find out is if this works really well.
So I'm going to go a different way. What I do with my teams, this is the number one thing. It's such a simple thing. I go, okay, what was that commercial? remember anything.
Yes.
I don't remember anything on the commercial.
No.
That's it.
Toyota.
I remember Toyota. I think he said Sienna. Like, it's like, okay, I talked about something. We changed the subject. Go, now remind me about the commercial we talked about. And if you can't remember it, we haven't done our jobs. Like, that's our job. Our job is to actually make sure that there is something worth sticking. And if you don't do it, then we haven't done it. Now, understand there's so much that needs to be done. And I can tell there was a lot of like, okay, there's this and this and this. The brief was like this long. Like, literally, it was like,
oh, sure.
And it was, I think there's always this fear that we got their attention. We have to tell them everything. But what friend ever does that? Just give me the one thing you really want me to know so that I can go act on that one thing. And that gave me a ton of stuff to do, and I don't know what to act on.
So you give it a 7.
Maybe a 6.
You're going to give it a 6. You're going to rate it down there with Aura. That's so
6.5.
Aura is a 6.
6.5. I'll go 6.
Okay, so you're putting it in the
I mean,
middle.
because I also like his read. I thought
he did good. It's weird. It's such a weird one. But I agree with you.
It's not about his read. Again, a lot of this is like foundational to the writing and understanding how to keep things simple in a place where people want to hear it.
That's the better point. Yes. Because they have the personality and the style that they do, and that's what you're renting space on their stage. So let them be who they are.
There is a reason why I listen to Colin Cowherd so much. His A block, he writes himself.
Okay.
And it very much, if you ever listen to his podcast, which is essentially his show, but I can't listen to the show during the day, and we'll come back. It's
sure.
Because he writes it and he contextualizes things. But the other reason is he is incredibly smooth into the first block. And when he talks about it, he talks like just like a friend. Just talks about, listen, Simply Safe. I just, guys, sometimes these days it's getting a little scarier and scarier to like know who even comes out of your door. That's why Simply Safe is actually really, really good. You can put it together. And like, it just says it. And you're just like, oh, wait, we're in a commercial now. Holy smoke. Wait, he's doing a read. And if it's that seamless, we've done our job. He's done his job.
And it's those radio greats and podcasters too that do such a
Dan
good job.
Patrick's great at it. Like, there's so many great at it.
Such a good job. Okay, last one. Amazon Prime Video, Trainer Games. Let's go. All right, here we go.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
This is Trainer Games.
Watch it on Prime Video starting January 8th.
Wait a minute. That might have been one of our... I know that voice. I might have to recuse myself. I think that might be ours.
Well, can you grade it or can you not even grade it then?
I can grade it. I mean, I know Ricky's voice anywhere. I would give it... I would give it about a 7.5 to 7, and I'll tell you the reason. One thing, if I listened to it first, I would have said and they're probably working with the sound drops they got, to be really fair, because I can tell.
Yeah, it sounds like it to me.
It was pulled for, it was like a video, and they had like because that's the challenge in entertainment, that they don't go bespoke on the audios. I think it's about a 7.5 to 8, like 7.5 and 8. That's where I would grade it. But because it's like, at least it paints the picture of the stress that they're under, and it brings it in.
So it got nailed by Audiolytics because
it didn't say anything.
Exactly, it had no information. Yeah. Now I will admit
it's entertainment.
Audiolytics is information. It's got a bias towards the transfer of information. So it didn't tell us. And I was thinking of you that with iHeart, like,
yeah,
you do events. So much of what iHeart does is events.
Yeah, but if you put any of our promos, you'd be like,
what's the time? What's the time? What's the place?
Yep.
Time, place.
We do it again.
Just do the basics, and that folks don't do that.
But what the thing is, and forgive me, I'm defending my team's creative here. We probably did 3 spots, and what we do it is this might be the intro spot, and then
interesting.
Like we don't think in just one spot.
Yeah, this is let's see what it is. It's a mid. Ted Cruz. This is Verdict with Ted Cruz, and that's a mid roll.
Yeah, so he's one of ours too.
So, which is it's another good point. And like you were saying earlier about, we hear an ad and then ask, and it does happen on Ad Infinitum, where it's like literally been 10 seconds. Like, I can't remember what was that about. Like, That's a great point.
Do you remember that ad?
The other thing is we're very much taking him out of context.
Yeah.
And so on the one hand, I love that. On the other hand, to be fair,
Yeah.
If it's a set of ads, it's working together,
No, and I'm
blah,
not-
blah, blah, blah.
but I
my
think-
working theory
Yeah.
is sort of the ad in the wild. That you happen to get into Angela's car and she's listening to a
And she just
podcast
turns something on.
you don't normally listen to, and you hear this ad out of nowhere. What's that experience of an ad like, you know? As opposed to like, we know we're serving you the exact perfect ad in the exact
There's no
perfect
such
moment.
thing, yeah.
Right.
So my only other thing on it, and it's kind of weird because this is always my great tension between the podcasting space and radio. Radio is a big room. That ad felt like it should be on the radio. I thought it should be on the radio.
It felt like a radio ad, 100%.
Correct. Podcasting should be like, hey, have you heard about this new show that's going on in Amazon?
Yes.
Like, it's ridiculous. There are like 10 contestants fighting for like $250,000. And here's the effed up part, like, kind of thing. Then it's a more intimate space, but we tend to like also use many of the same tropes that cross different platforms. And that's always something that we always try to advise our clients on. Don't do the same thing in all places.
What I like is that you went to an endorsement.
That's because that's more natural in the space.
Yeah, and I think it is as well. Okay, so at the end
And you
here,
should make money off of that. There you
we
go.
should save the live reads. So close, came down pretty close. So let's just do this. Audiolytics puts in number one, either Mint Mobile or Toyota, and then Aura Frames, and then Amazon Prime.
Still can't believe I thought it was glasses.
But I did too.
Okay.
And then
screwed up.
And then you've got Mint Mobile is the highest.
Yeah.
Right up there with Amazon, which I understand. And then we've got Aura or Toyota, and then Aura's at the bottom.
Joe does really good work at Amazon. Those guys are doing good stuff. So
I mean, look,
I
think my takeaway from listening to these with you, and then we can wrap this up with any advice you got for the people out there that are making the ads work, is save the live reads. Is like where you went with your notes is
it's because
personal endorsement.
Yeah.
And there's a way to do it, even with dynamic ad insertion. I hear a lot of stuff about how it can't be done, but I'm like, it can be done. We can do it.
It is the most basic thing. It's actually one of the mistakes I made when I first came to this. I'd written 5 radio spots before I got to iHeart. Interns used to make radio spots, yeah? And when I got here, I was like, I had to get really schooled about what this industry was about. And I had to go backwards to come back out. And I'd done the 90 scripts to do my first videos, TV spot. I had to relearn how to write. And the first thing I realized is the brain is the fastest production company in the world. It goes faster than anything else. And all you have to do is help that motor start. And once it's going, you're in a partnership with that listener. And if it's done correctly, you don't have to put the whiz bangs. In fact, quite the opposite. It's almost like you pull back.
Mm-hmm.
This becomes harder and harder. It is really good writing in this space is all about this purity of a thought. That's why writers love this space, because the sound engineering is actually enhancing, but it can also be a detriment. But when you're in entertainment, you kind of want to do the whiz bang. It's the natural proclivity because it's kind of like with automotive. You want to see the sheet metal, but no one buys a car because it but it's also none of these channels are in isolation. So if Amazon's doing all those pieces out there, be what is native to this channel.
Yes.
Be native. And because everything is additive, audio makes everything else work harder too. We know that. There's a lot of stats that prove running this before social increases the efficacy of 60%, 20, almost 30% of more attention to any video asset. Those things happen because a best friend cued your brain to look for those things, and it adds credibility to when you see it. So I tend to go back to the lesson I had learned was stop trying to take your visual bias and bring it into an audio channel, and then look at this, relearn your this entire channel whole cloth. And that's what I did.
Yeah, and I can see that, and I hear, the things that stand out to me are that when the conversation has become so abusive and disgusting. Audio is a place that we can still tell stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place we can genuinely connect, genuinely take the time, and we got to fight for our right to party. If the fight to be had is in contending for that kind of space to still exist, that we can talk and listen to each other.
Yep.
And everybody has a voice, and not just get rewarded for how much we're othering everybody, right? How can we all come together?
We forgot how to listen to each other. I think that It's weird. My Studio 55 group and our family that we've created, there's this feeling collectively that we all kind of look out for each other because we all want to like talk to each other and be around each other. Doesn't mean everyone likes each other. Don't get me wrong. It's not that simple. It's not like some Pollyannic thing. But I think there's also this kind of need of civility that has been lost. And part of being like back in offices and being with each other is to remember what that feels like. Every now and then I'll get like a noise complaint. I have a loud voice. Can you do mind like keeping it down a little bit? And I'm like, I'll try. But this is kind of how offices are. Like, this is what it is. Like, and the thing is, right now, everyone's kind of seeing the negatives and they don't even see the serendipity of being next to each other and what that means. This world, this virtual or hybrid world we're living in is devoid of we go back and talk about a callback. We were talking about how we feel very untethered. Mm-hmm. The reason we feel untethered on one level is because of all the AI-ness that's going on and like not knowing what's real. But the other side is, and it started with the pandemic, is we broke all those rituals that were sacred to us. You get up in the morning, you have your cup of coffee, you commute to work, you do this thing, lunch is a salad that you go downstairs that you don't want or whatever it is. Now I'm going to have the 3 o'clock coffee or someone takes a smoke break or whatever. And there were rituals and that became your life. And then it all got put on hold. And then when we started and then we survived, right? Creatives like started to do designs through Teams or like Zoom and we figured it out. And then we started going, well, what's an office? We started questioning everything. Like, why should I? Like, there's a lot of why should I? Mm-hmm. And that's actually a good thing because as we're rebuilding it, we had kind of been on autopilot for so long. We've been doing shit like just because we could, like because we'd been doing it. But we hadn't stopped and gone, well, actually, no, it is a good reason. You know why I like going to the office? Is because when I come home, I want my time with my wife and our dog to be sacred. And like we can put walls up and I can use those 45-minute commutes on the train back from uptown. I can just clear my emails, like boop, 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 boop,
Mm-hmm.
and it's done. And when I get home, I'm like mentally, I've severed the link.
Yeah.
And for a lot of parents, that's really important. Like we bring that back. So I don't know why I was going down that path, but it just took me down to like this idea of needing to like rebuild those rituals and stuff.
To be human.
Oh, I guess you just did it for me. There you go.
It's guaranteed.
It's guaranteed.
We're going to be human.
Humans are messy.
Here. Come on. Guaranteed. Thank you for coming on Ad Infinitum.
Thank you so much.
This was awesome. And get your free demo of Magellan.
Into the camera.
At Magellan.ai/Ad Infinitum. Did you see how smooth that segue was? It was guaranteed
it was just
human.
You went hands into the camera. It was just great. So
thanks again.
Thank you for having us. Me. Done.
You're so committed to the wee bit.
Yeah, just like it's a wee. It's like
you know what? We're glad you came.